Jules, to the Silver Phoenix Happy Hour with Blaze and Ken.
Hello, welcome. That was a great intro, Ken. Thank you. That
That
voice.
kills your voice. I don't know how John Casser did that as the Crypt Keeper for how many years. God, that hurt.
I don't know.
Greetings.
It was really good, though. I was impressed. Well, cheers, everybody. Welcome to season 2, episode 1 of the Silver Phoenix Happy Hour. We're so happy that you're here to join us.
You might have to talk for a couple minutes while I fix his vocal thing down all this. Thank you.
Well, all right. Well, I'll start. So, obviously, you see we're in costume. Ken is in his Marvel gear. Doesn't he look handsome? And I think I heard you said you got some compliments at work.
Yeah. And of course,
Oh,
I got another one.
I was going to say that's not the same one you had on the show
This is
before.
the Iron Man one.
Fantastic. Wow, that's incredible. Now,
Oh,
did you dress up or,
I can control the universe anywhere at this point now. Yeah,
snap of your finger?
I did. I went to work in this, and I got a lot of great compliments, and it was fun. I normally don't do that for work, and I got talked into it, and I normally again would never ever do that, and I'm kind of glad I did, and luckily no one was really in the office, so it worked out perfectly.
Now, do you know who I am?
You might
It's
have to
not
help me out.
super, yeah, it's not super obvious, but
'Cause my first go to is gonna be Cinderella.
no. No. But Cinderella wears blue, not white. No, you can't
Well,
see the whole dress, the whole outfit. But so one of the big hits on Netflix for the past couple years was Bridgerton. And so I'm Daphne from Bridgerton, the
that's right,
Lady
you little
Hastings.
Anglophile, you.
The Lady Hastings, married to my Duke. Gotta love it. But I will say I was a princess yesterday. I was Princess
Wait,
Anna.
how does that differ from any other day?
Well, no, I'm a queen every other day, Ken. Get it
Oh,
right. Get it
well,
right. I have a goddaughter and her little sister. They're 5 and 4, almost 6. Or this month, actually, November. But they convinced me they were going as princesses. They were Belle and Rapunzel, and then they said, "Aunt Blaze, will you come and do trick or treating with us in Hoboken? And will you be a Disney princess?" So I was like, all right. Now, I've been a lot of different princesses. We're going to talk later, I think, about costumes and stuff. But the one I never was Anna from Frozen. So I ended up doing like the braids and the whole thing. And it was unbelievable. So I have to share with you some of the things that happen in Hoboken. I've never seen anything like kind of the mass production that they put on. I know they had a parade, and it was the same day as the parade in Manhattan. But this was unbelievable. So I'm just going to roll the clip and take a look. So you saw at the beginning, there's like some bats flying. Now this is just on the streets. Everybody decorated their houses and stuff. Look at this. This is an homage to Silver Phoenix Happy Hour. It's all silver.
that's
It's
cool.
fantastic. Isn't that cool? And you just walk down the street and there's a mermaid for
Well, it's
Beachcombing with
you
Blaze. I
in
know,
about
right?
50, 60 years.
Oh my gosh. There's a Cobra Die. This is all the movie section. This was Harry Potter, Voldemort, very clever. The people that were giving out candy were speaking like they were in character. It was great. Jaws, of course. Then we had Stranger Things, so this was cool, the Upside Down, and they went all out. Look, they had the letters and everything too, and it was neat. Winifred. Oh, this was cool too, because of course
Oh
we
my
had an
God.
episode. But look at that. And everything was so themed. They're all skeletons of all the
The
different
Wizard of Oz. That is
characters. There's the
awesome.
wizard, there's
Oh,
the witch up
wow.
there. Isn't that amazing? And then in a second, you'll see they did like this extra little thing that I had to look, the legs. Um, we got
Oh, that's
Pumpkinhead there,
cool.
right? It was unbelievable. There's just like there was a lot of creepy dolls, giant eyes and googly eyes and things too that were pretty neat. But this little guy,
Ah,
I liked him. He was cute. Yeah, lots of zombies, and I guess that's kind of like Swamp Thing, I guess.
or just like a
This
Grim
was
Reaper.
Beetlejuice, which I have been Beetlejuice before, so that was kind of cool
We've talked about
to
Beetlejuice
see
in the
Beetlejuice.
past.
And yes, we have a lot of times. This was
Oh,
awesome. Now, this is an homage to In the Kitchen for Nicole. Chop right. And he
Chop
had
Right.
all this like disgusting meat. If I was a kid though and I saw that, I'd be terrified, which we're going to talk probably about too in
Looks
the
like
show
Lando
today.
Calrissian on the right there walking away, too.
Does it? Here comes, of course, I had to put Ariel and Sebastian in there
Oh, that's
too.
cute.
There's for you. There's Thor. There's your buddy. And I had to end it because even the pets dressed up. There's a cow and a little crustacean there.
Oh,
So it was just so fun. I just never saw
That's
anything
cool.
like it. I would definitely go again next year. I mean, honestly, they just did it so well, and that was only just a fraction of the all of the things that I saw. I those were the ones I really connected to. But they had like Little Shop of Horrors,
Oh, one of my
Mushniks.
favorites.
Yeah, so that was really neat, and yeah, just really really cool. And everybody was in good spirits, and lots of candy, and but so what did you end up doing?
Um, I was a little under the weather, and
Mm,
there's not a lot of trick or treating over by me in my area. Actually, I haven't really had any kids knock on a door in a couple of years. I mean, at least like 3 or 4 years. But one of my go-tos is always watching, doing movie marathons, and
yeah,
I binge a lot of classic Universal stuff like I do every year. One of my favorites is still Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein. That's a go-to every year.
that's great.
Um, I watched the new Halloween that came out.
Okay,
Actually, there's some really cool horror TV going on right now. I'm in love with the show Chucky. They have done such a great job with it. It's very meta in a way too, because
right.
Jennifer Tilly's in it, playing Jennifer Tilly, who's possessed by Tiffany. It's bizarre. Brad Dourif, who plays Chucky, his actual real life daughter is a character in it who was part of
Okay,
the movie series too. And actually, believe it or not, I was skeptical, but AMC's Interview with the Vampire has been very good.
okay. Is there
It
anybody I would know that's in that?
maybe one or two people off the
Okay.
top of my head, I couldn't tell you. Actually, the guy who's the interviewer, the one thing I majorly know him from was, do you ever see the Under Siege movies with Steven Seagal?
Yeah, of course, yes.
There was the movie where they were on the train, the second one. He
Okay,
was the bad guy, the head bad guy in the second movie.
okay. I kind of am
He's a
picturing his
weird kind
face.
of, yeah, he's got the curly hair and he's a little over the top and chews a lot of scenery. But he's very reserved in this. He kind of has like an Anthony Bourdain kind of vibe, actually, like the way he looks.
Okay,
Very good. Like I was very shocked of how faithful it's been to the book so far.
all right.
And I kind of like it better than the movie with Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise.
I mean, I do remember that movie, but I will say Kirsten Dunst for me, that was like her breakout role. It was
Oh
she
yeah.
made that movie. Like for
Oh,
I don't know if any other kid actor at the time could have handled that depth of because I believe that she was older when she was
very
older,
true.
you know what I mean? Like, I
Very,
thought
very
her
true.
acting was very great for a kid. So
There's not a lot of child actors that can, have been able to convincingly pull a lot of that stuff off. I mean, one of the only other ones I could think of recently, not even recently, it was so long ago, was like Haley Joel Osment in The Sixth Sense.
of course, yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
but but yeah, no, that and I I'm a huge fan of Elvira. I recently read her book over the last year, and I did a little marathon of her two films, Mistress of the Dark and Elvira's Haunted Hills.
Okay.
And Peacock, where I was watching the new Halloween movie, also has a bunch of episodes of her original movie Macabre from the '80s. So I was watching a bunch of that. So that was fun.
I haven't seen a lot of Elvira's stuff, so I'll check it out.
It's fun. She's just so funny.
And I do
So
wanna see Child's Play because I have seen a lot of commercials for it when I'm watching other
oh, the
shows. Because
the
I did
TV
finish
show.
Yeah, because I did finish Game of Thrones, The New House of the
I
Dragon. I
just
finished
finished
that.
that recently. Yes.
Yep. What'd you think of I mean, obviously, we won't give any spoilers today because I don't know if people are still
Um,
binging
I
it.
I thought the finale was going to be a little more impactful. I thought it was going to have more of a punch, but I kind of appreciated how it ended where because I'm really curious now to see where they're gonna go with it,
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I enjoyed it. And then, of course, it was also the season finale for Rings of Power.
which I
So
still really haven't seen yet. So
okay. Yeah. At least I think it was the season finale. It seemed like it
yeah,
was.
that ended. That ended.
But there are people trying to trick me. Somebody said, "Oh, you're not going to like whatever," and then I said, "Just shh, shh, shh. I don't want to hear anything." So I did enjoy it. I'm looking forward to seeing where they're going to go with it as well. So it's
So
awesome.
Blaze, so you know
Yeah,
me, I'm a huge horror movie fan,
yeah.
and Halloween is definitely one of my all-time favorite times of year. So I'm gonna put you on the spot.
Huh?
I came up with a little 5-question trivia
Oh,
about
okay.
horror movies.
Ooh, okay. That's
It
not really my
spans
wheelhouse, but all right.
it spans a few it spans a couple different decades,
Okay.
and this one might be a little rough, but I think you're gonna do all right with it.
Okay.
All right,
I
so
mean,
for
I'm up for it. I'm up for it. And let me have another sip of my oh, which
yes.
by the way, it is peanut butter month. November is
Oh,
peanut butter month, so I'm having peanut butter whiskey. I thought maybe, my character, Lady Daphne, would enjoy a little peanut butter whiskey. So
I recently have just been introduced to that myself, and I was very shocked of how much I really enjoy it.
it's really good. So I have, and I'll reach over and grab it,
Actually,
but
have you mixed it with Coca-Cola yet?
no, I would never do that just
It
because I like it just like
Blaze
this.
Blaze, it tastes like an ice cream sundae.
Really?
It's
Hmm.
fantastic.
I don't know. I'm
I
not I'm a
highly
purist.
I highly, highly recommend it.
I'm a
Again,
purist.
I was skeptical and concerned about it, but it is phenomenal. You
Really?
and you're gonna call me up after you do it, and you're gonna thank me. I
All right,
guarantee
maybe
it.
I will. I
All
have
right.
tried the Chambord with it that tastes like peanut butter and jelly.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you do Chambord with a little of the peanut butter whiskey. This one's Screwball, but I also really like
Yeah. That was the
Blind
one.
Squirrel.
That was the one I had. Yeah.
Blind Squirrel's really good. That's the first one I ever had actually, and then that was recommended to me, and then I tried Screwball, and I really like that one too. So,
Very
all right,
surprised for a whiskey how thick it is, or it seems. It has a consistency to it.
yeah, it really does. All right,
So,
I'm ready
all
for
right.
this. Let's see how I do. Horror
All
movies,
right.
not my wheelhouse though, so no judging.
All right. All right. First up,
Okay,
what movie did not star Robert Englund?
okay.
Was it A, Wes Craven's New Nightmare, B, The Mangler, C, Deadly Friend, or D, Behind the Mask: The Rise of Leslie Vernon?
Well, I'm gonna be honest, I don't know 3 of those movies. So so I'm in a little bit of a pickle here. Um, I'm gonna go with, the first one.
Wes Craven's New Nightmare?
Yeah.
No, Freddie. Robert Englund did
Oh,
play Freddie in that, and
okay, I
himself,
wasn't sure.
and he played
Did
himself
he?
in that
Oh,
movie.
darn it. I don't
Actually, no,
know.
it was Deadly Friend, which was also a Wes Craven movie with Christy Swanson that I highly recommend. She plays a young girl who dies and is brought back to life as a robot,
Oh,
and it's interesting. Behind the Mask: The Rise of Leslie Vernon is a great little movie
yeah, I don't know that one.
about it's kind of like a documentary about a movie serial killer,
Okay,
and it's a bit of a comedy too. Robert Englund plays the Dr. Loomis character from Halloween, the Donald Pleasance character, who's
okay.
like his foil, who's constantly trying to hunt him.
Yeah,
And he looks and sounds like him. It's fantastic. And The Mangler was based on a Stephen King story that Toby Hooper directed that he was in.
gotcha. Yeah, those are not ones I've seen.
All right, here's one.
Okay.
Which of these classic Universal monster films was not directed by James Whale?
Oof.
We
Okay.
have Frankenstein. Oop, I think I have a ghost in the house. My shade just rolled up.
I'm going Frankenstein.
Is it A, Frankenstein, B, Bride of Frankenstein,
Okay.
C, The Invisible Man, or D, The Invisible Man Returns?
Oh, those are tricky because it's 2 in the same kind of life.
Hmm.
I'm gonna go The Invisible Man Returns.
And you would be correct.
Good. Yay, 1 for me.
James James Whale was incredible. He was a great
Yeah.
director, actually. Um, Number three, how many Friday the 13th films starred actor Kane Hodder as Jason Voorhees? And for extra credit, can you name them?
No. I can tell you that. There's gonna be no extra credit on this one.
Okay.
Um, it's tough because I just wasn't a big I was like classic
Yeah.
horror girl.
I, I, I'm
This
not a fan of the Friday the 13th
ah,
films, but from
yeah,
doing all the conventions over the years and meeting Kane Hodder like multiple times, hanging out with him, like he's
right.
a huge fan favorite. Like people just love this guy.
I mean, I've seen the first couple, but I think,
Well,
so I'm gonna
just
say
yeah, just take a guess how many he played.
I'm gonna say 6.
Close. He did
Okay.
4.
4. Okay. All right.
So yeah, he did parts 7, 8, and 9, and 10.
Okay. So then who was the original?
I don't remember.
Okay.
I couldn't tell you. I'm like I said, I'm not that big of a fan personally, but all right, I got one for you. Which actor portrayed Ghostface in full costume on screen in the original Scream?
Oh my gosh. I can picture him. Oh goodness.
Well, describe him, and I might help you out.
Uh, Dark hair, kind of
Hmm.
um, little curly at the top, just
Little pretty
slightly.
boy, kind of has a
Yeah.
Johnny Depp vibe to him in the early '80s.
Yeah. He had like kind of
That would
like
be
little.
that would be Skeet Ulrich.
Yes. Thank you. I could not think of it, but I did know that one.
And
Ski
it's a
Ulrich.
trick
Yes.
question because it was Skeet Ulrich and Matthew Lillard
Right.
because
Yes.
there were 2 of them.
Yes. Exactly. And Matthew Lillard went on to play Shaggy and Scooby Doo, and
I'm feeling a little woozy, man.
he was in that other movie.
He
She's
was
All
in
That. She's All That.
Yes.
Remember, he was the boyfriend.
He
Yeah.
was Matthew Lillard actually was also in the recent continuation of Twin Peaks
Oh, okay.
that David Lynch did, and he was awesome in it. He was really really good in it. All right, last up.
Okay.
I think I'm throwing you a curveball here. Ready?
Uh oh. Okay.
What Halloween favorite features a recently engaged couple spending a weekend in a castle occupied by Transylvanians from outer space?
That would be the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
There you go.
Janet, damn it.
Planet Schmanet,
Brad.
Janet.
Brad. That's awesome. Now I know that you actually played
I
Frankenfurter.
did Frankenfurter once.
You
Actually,
did.
my go-to was I played Brad a lot on
Okay.
in theaters, and I played Riff Raff a couple times,
Okay.
and I got suckered into doing Frank once because somebody actually had an incident where they were hurt pretty bad and had to back out, and that was I gained a lot of respect for women after that, wearing
I
those
was
heels.
supposed to play the tap dancer,
Oh,
Magenta.
Columbia.
Oh, Columbia, Columbia.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was between Magenta and Columbia, but because I could tap, but I forget. I think I landed something else, to be honest, and I skipped out of that one because I wanted to do the other musical. It was just a better role for me.
yeah.
But
Well, I didn't do it,
yeah.
like, on stage, I just did it as the shadow cast in the movie theaters.
Oh,
So, like,
okay.
you have the movie playing above you, and you're acting everything out underneath it, and
Yeah.
that was a lot of my high school years, actually.
I've never done it. I've seen the movie a couple times, and I remember doing a musical called Dracula the Musical, and the director was good friends with the guy who played Brad in the movie. Um, uh,
Barry Bostwick?
Thank you, Barry Boswick, and he was at this our wrapping cast party. He showed
Oh,
up.
get out.
Yeah, so he was really, really nice. I just
That
remember it
wasn't
was really cool.
Dracula the musical, that was the, Frank Wildhorn one, was it?
No,
Okay.
it was Rick Abbott. It was a funny take on
Oh,
Dracula. It
okay.
was Dracula the Musical, question mark?
Oh,
And I played Mina, who got my neck bit, and I wore like a little rag around my neck, and one of the cast members says, you know, "What'd you do there?" Or whatever, because it's a joke, you know, it's all play on. And I was like, I cut myself shaving. Like it was a, but that was the one where it was one of my most embarrassing moments on stage, where my fang, when I became a vampire, I went and my fang fell out and hit the floor, and the audience just rolled. The cast members were just like trying not to laugh because everybody was on stage with me at the same time trying to save me. And when that it fell out, and I was just like, I'm a newbie vampire. Like I totally played it off. It was great, but
well, that's like
everybody
reminiscent
cried.
well, that's like reminiscent of the old Dark Shadows show from the '60s, where it was like, the camera would pan away because it was kinda live, and the
Yes.
camera would pan away to an actor, and then it would come back to Jonathan Fridd, who played Barnabas, and his head would be down because he was still putting his fangs or dentures back in his mouth to, like, snarl and stuff.
Who was the guy who played the lead in Fright Night that played the
Roddy
vampire?
McDowall? Oh, no,
No, no.
no, Sarandon,
Chris Sarandon?
yes.
Chris Sarandon, yeah.
Yep.
So I had such a crush on him. I don't know, like there was just something about him yeah, I had a thing for vampires for a really long time. I remember my mom was always like, What's with your fascination with vampires? And I was like, I don't know.
Well, did you ever see the remake
Hmm.
with Colin Farrell?
Yes. Didn't do
I'm
it
like,
for me though.
I'm gonna say, forget Sarandon. How about Farrell?
No, I
That was
I
a
had a,
sexy vampire.
I know, but it's not about that though. It's just the way that that Chris
Yeah,
looked at you.
yeah. No,
I
no,
don't
no.
know.
There was that movie is great. It's one of my favorite films and one of my favorite directors, Tom Holland, who
Right.
also directed the original Child's Play, and I still think completely underrated. Wound up doing Psycho 2,
Ah,
which I thought was a fantastic film.
I don't know that I've
Yeah,
seen that one to be honest, but
highly recommend it.
okay. Well,
Highly recommend it.
speaking of, you just mentioned an Alfred Hitchcock movie there with Psycho, so and Psycho 2. But let's talk about costumes because one of my
Yeah.
favorites, I have a lot of favorites that I've done throughout the years. I'm very creative, so I always come up with something. But I was Tippi Hedren from the Birds one year. That was a lot of fun because I had like birds on my wrist, and I would like do like this, and it was like, and I had the blood on my face, like they were pecking my face. It was that I had the suit on that she was
And,
wearing, the
and
outfit.
you did everything you can to like find a phone booth to get into for photos too.
No, I didn't have to worry about that. I was at a party, but it was just really, really cool. And I think like just being in the business that I've been, so I'm used to dressing up anyway a lot for, to get into whatever characters I'm getting into. And I was a magician's assistant and a clown.
Right.
So for me, it's awesome. But I think King Kong's Babe was one of my favorite when I was Fay Ray, and that was just a few years ago. I did that one. Medusa was a lot of fun. Um, the Riddler was awesome.
I've done the Riddler.
Uh, Alice in Wonderland, I was also Queen of Hearts, Dorothy. Trying to think of like the good ones that were. Oh, I did Little Risque Riding Hoods because I had to go to like an adult party. As adult, it
Hey,
was
listen,
just
it's a
adults.
family show.
No, no, I mean it was just adults there, and they were everybody was kind of coming as something a little more risque. So I was like, I'm Little Risque Riding Hood. So it was, I just made up something. But yeah, I don't remember the first costume I ever wore. Probably something with a mask, maybe Barbie or something where they just had those like those small little masks. You didn't wear the whole thing, it was just the mask.
Oh, you remember those
But
old costumes too? They're like it came in the box. It had the little face mask, and then it was
that's
like
it.
a shirt or whatever that just like
Yeah.
had like a logo of whatever it was.
Yep.
Yeah,
And I
the
lived in
Ben
my
Cooper.
underoos. Oh, yes.
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 Yeah.
But I lived in my underoos too, so I felt like it was Halloween or you dress up. No wonder I got into the business because I love those underoos. I was
Listen,
like,
I used to run around a pair of Captain America underoos back when I was like 5, 6 years old. I mean,
"Now look, nothing's changed. Look, you're in the
hey, and
Captain America
I
outfit
know.
now."
Hey, listen, you know what? I just found out that they brought them back. I might have to go get some adult versions now.
I'm not gonna tell you if I have adult versions, but I do. So all right, well, so what other costumes for you? What other favorites do you have?
One of my well, I've done the Riddler. Actually, that was one of the last costumes I did. It was 2019 for Blue Movie. I actually helped host a Halloween show at Blue Movie, and I dressed up as the Riddler, and people loved it. It was great.
Yeah.
Um, I've done Batman. A lot of my costumes have actually been very Batman themed over the years. My biggest go-to that I've done multiple times, especially at conventions, was the Joker, and apparently I pull off a very
Ah,
convincing Joker.
okay. Nice.
Um, and then, oh, back in the day, I used to have a plaster cast of my head, and I used to, when I was still living at home, I had a plaster cast of my head
I'm
made.
afraid to ask where
No, no,
you
no,
got this from.
no. It was makeup artist that actually did it for me.
Oh, okay.
It was a professional makeup artist who did it for me, and it sat in my room. I used to have a drafting table, and it sat on my drafting table. And within the couple of months leading up to Halloween, I used to sculpt. I used to get like clay and put stuff, put pieces on there, sculpt it out, and I would make my own prosthetics that I would
Wow.
adhere to my face. And one of my favorites, I actually did Two Face from Batman.
Oh, that's awesome. Tommy Lee Jones?
Yeah, actually, it
Yeah,
was that version of it.
yeah,
And I wish I could find. I have a photo of it somewhere. One day I'll find it and eventually display it, or
yeah.
bring it on the show. And I was hoping to have it tonight. I just couldn't get to it. But yeah, that was one of my ultimate favorites. It came out great. My aunt actually helped put the suit together for me. We bought a suit, and then she made the overlays of the tiger stripe stuff in purple to throw on there, and I teased the hair up on the one side all the way out, and it was great. It was awesome.
That's awesome. Fantastic. Any others that you can think of?
One of the best stories. I'm not so much costume as much as it is a story. I was dating someone a long time ago and got her involved with this little bit, and we went out with a couple of friends and we found a bunch of kids that were on the street, and I was done up as a zombie, and I forgot what she was done up as, and we had kind of planned this in advance if we had come up against a group of kids just to kind of scare them, and I put a little fake piece on her neck that we filled up with a little gel pack inside. And I was
I
done up
know
as
where
a
this is
zombie.
going. I know where this is going. This is
And as we
terrible.
were all going, I started doing the shuffle, and my friends were all in front of me, leaving a distance. And I was just doing the shuffle coming up behind them. And as the kids were going, they looked at me like, "You're not scary." And I grabbed the girl I was with and I went in and bit the makeup piece off of her neck. And the blood started dribbling down. I had a blood pack in my mouth that I bit on so it shot out when I did it. And then she went limp and dropped down to the ground. And then I started shuffling after the kids, and the kids freaked out and ran away.
Oh my gosh. See, and that's why they probably hate Halloween or all these zombie things. Like, I remember as a kid going to Brigantine Castle, which is in New Jersey. It doesn't exist anymore. It actually burnt down. There were kids smoking, I think, on the pier, and it was a wood pier, so they didn't properly put out their cigarette, and the whole thing lit up. But there
Oh,
was this giant castle, and it was like da 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 da, like it had the whole thing, and it had the you walked in
sorry.
the
It almost
first
sounded
room.
like you were singing the final countdown, actually.
Da-da-da-da-da. No, there's a difference. But I remember you walk into a room and it was a small room and there was a picture on the wall and it was a vampire and that picture turned into a real vampire. The vampire came out and then that's when the castle opened and you had to find your way out. And I was with my dad and brother and I remember specifically that they ran without me and they left me in the dust and I was so scared I fell going up the stairs, so I didn't hurt myself, but I kind of fell going up. And I'm going to say I was around 8 or 9. But there was a guy behind me chasing me with a cleaver, giant cleaver. And he's like, get up the stairs. And I said, I'm trying, Dad. I was like screaming. And, they left me. They totally left me. I had to fend for myself. So what are you going to do?
Yeah.
But, well, another thing that for Halloween, the big thing, and it is actually a national day. This
There,
week, it's
there you go.
National Candy Day. This is my candy from Hoboken. I got a ton of things: animal
I'll
crackers.
say
I
you have
got the
animal crackers
standard,
in there.
yeah, some Reese's, a Hershey bar. Reese's Pieces, all the actually a lot of my favorites are in here, but I'm going to give a lot of this candy away. So
Just send
Nicole
it
will
my
be
way.
proud of
It's
me.
all good.
Yeah, right. But this was I actually bought this for someone, but I decided to keep it. So, but anyway, I really like it. It's super cute too, and who can go wrong with Spider-Man? Come
Actually,
on.
I still have a bucket that you gave me that was Marvel characters too.
Yeah. Which Marvel character was it, or was it
It
a
was
bunch of them?
no, it was a thing of the Avengers.
Right. Okay, that's what
Yeah,
I thought. Yeah, it was
yeah,
all. That's amazing.
yep.
Love it.
Still
Love it.
have it.
But since it's National Candy Day, I know that Nicole is with us today. Welcome to season 2, Nicole. We're so excited. We have a lot of fun things planned with her for this season. And let's roll that clip and see what she's got for us.
Sure thing.
What's up, Ken and Blaze? Happy November. I think we recognize that the holiday season is officially in swing. But hold up, I bet some of you have some Halloween candy laying around. I have an entire pail separated for my chocolates and another mini pail separated for my gummies and other sweets. So some of you probably got a bunch of little minis, right? We've got these little mini Three Musketeers, little mini Milky Ways. I'm all about enjoying all the foods you love in moderation and not restricting anything. But I think with some of these little chocolates, we can stretch them out and make them a little bit more satisfying by pairing salty, my favorite shape of pretzel, with something sweet. So very simply, I'm gonna take one of those Milky Way minis, give it a little squeeze, and I'm gonna top it with another pretzel. And now my little mini is turned into this fun little sandwich. So that's one little hack right there. You all know, if you've been here before, how much I love popcorn with treats. Again, another way, one, to make our candy a little bit more satisfying, but also a chance to add some fiber. So if you have, I don't know, you've got to have some packets of Reese's Pieces or M&Ms, toss those into your popcorn, and it's going to make the whole treat a little bit more satisfying. Also, how about we put some of this stuff away in the freezer? You can unwrap, sort or not sort in Ziplocs, and then you have something to look forward to, and also they're kind of out of sight and out of mind. Last but not least, something really fun you can do is chop up a bunch of different candy bars, put aside the M&Ms, put aside the Reese's, and combine them all into some kind of other fun holiday treat like cookies or brownies that are loaded with candy. Are we going to eat a whole tray of them? I hope not, but I'd love you to enjoy a slice. Always great to see you both. Ken and Blaze, back to you both in the studio.
Hi, Nicole. Woo! Well, you can see we
So great
morphed
having
out
her
of our.
back.
I know, it's incredible. We morphed out of our costumes here. We're not in any multiverse. This is because it's in lieu of this week is Jersey,
Speak for
National
yourself,
Jersey Week.
Blaze.
But we changed in our jerseys because it's football day this week, American football day, and it's Jersey Day, I guess is what they call it. And so we wore our jerseys. Eagles, my Eagles are 7-0, very exciting. Ken, not far behind the Giants. What are they
Six and
now?
6 and 2.
6-2. Love it, love it.
Which
And it's
ironically is
exciting.
which ironically for the Giants is still pretty damn good considering,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, I mean, I know the Jets just had a loss on Sunday, but they're still looking really good, and
Yeah.
so it's really cool. But all the NFC East teams, even the Washington won too. So this past week, and I don't know, this is the first time in a long time that the NFC East is actually like top of the charts. It's pretty
Yeah.
exciting.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's also, let me see, it's also Love Your Red Hair Day. Do you have any redheads out there that you know?
Maybe one or two.
Yeah, me too, me too. And November 6th is National Nachos Day, National Saxophone
Sign
Day.
me up. Oh, I play saxophone.
I know a lot of people play saxophone. It's fantastic. I love a good sax, like, listening
Listen,
to.
me too. Oh, wait, sorry.
As soon as I said it, I was like, oopsie, because I had a feeling that was going to come back at me. Um,
Hey,
good thing this
listen,
is not
Kenny
a kid
G is
show.
amazing. All right.
But it's also National Basketball Day over the weekend. And then, lastly, of the ones that I thought were interesting, because there's so many of them now, but National Marooned Without a Compass Day.
I've been there.
You have?
I don't know if have we mentioned this on this show? I know. Oh God, you and I tried doing this a long time ago, and I know I brought this up in an earlier capacity. I don't know if
What?
we ever actually announced this. I was a Boy Scout very early on, if you can actually believe that. Um,
Hmm.
but yeah, like I can understand what it's like actually having a compass and still getting lost. Like
Right.
it's a scary thing sometimes, especially like when you've been out traveling for like 3 4 hours and you go off on tangents and you don't know exactly where you are and you're still trying to figure out, okay, sun, okay, east west. I still have no idea where the hell I am.
But see, I mean, I don't panic because I know the stars too. So for me, like if it's
Right.
nighttime, as long as I have a sky that I can see stars and
Yeah,
it's not
but
cloud cover, because then you're screwed.
Bla- but Blaze, if you're in the middle of the woods and you can still see up above you and you still don't know where you are in the middle of the woods, is that really going to help you?
Well, it'd help you point
I
north, maybe.
Yeah, I know where north
Climate
is. I know where
straight.
east is. I know where east and west and south is, but I still don't know where the hell I am.
So wait, so since we were just talking about the woods, how you watching that show Big Sky by any chance?
I haven't been watching. Like I don't watch it, but I've been caught up on stuff. But like I know Reba McEntire's in it.
right? Ryan
Right.
Phillippe was in the first season, and
Right.
he's
Right. Right.
he's part of the production crew. He's on that other side of things.
Right.
Really good. Season 1 was excellent, and then I started watching season 2, and the guy from The Boys and Supernatural, what's his name?
Oh,
Um,
Jensen Ackles.
Jensen Ackles, who was also in Days
Soldier
of Our
Boy.
Lives. Yes, Soldier
Oh,
Boy.
really?
He was also on Days of Our Lives for a little while. I remember that a long time ago, but he's in it as well. Yeah, it's really good. It's I'm curious to see where it's going to go. So I think it comes on every Wednesday night. But yeah. But back to the Maroon Without a Compass Day. That reminds me a little bit of our old beachcombing with Blaze, perhaps. Uh,
Why? Have you been
we'll bring it
lost while
back.
doing this?
Well, no, I was just thinking like,
Have you been
well,
lost at Sea Blaze?
I'm a little bit lost this week for how I'm gonna tie it together.
Do I need to call the Coast Guard?
I do have some Coast Guard friends, so they can come and help me out.
I'm sure you do.
So, all right, let's roll that clip before I get in any trouble.
Okay.
'Cause I'm a creep, I'm a weirdo. On this Halloween themed episode of Beachcombing with Blaze, I explore the mysterious, the fascinating, quite frankly, some very creepy marine life. But first, though, let's take a quick swim through this maze of monstrous statues. It's part of an underwater art museum in Mexico. You definitely would not want to get lost in here. All right, now let's take a look at some creepy but cool specimens I found at the Smithsonian. That's in Washington, D.C. First up is the jewel squid. This species of cockeyed squid has light-emitting photophores on its body that look like jewels. One of its eyes is normal-sized, while the other is larger and bulges out. Out of this world. Second is the clubhook squid. This monstrous cephalopod can grow to more than 2 meters in length, and at the end of those long tentacles are, you guessed it, hooks. We don't know a lot about them since they spend most of their lives in the deeper depths of the ocean, but occasionally a dead one is hauled or washed up and is a real treat for experts. Third is the not-so-sweet cookie cutter shark. This glow-in-the-dark evolutionary marvel takes circular chunks of flesh from its victims. They may be small in comparison to the dinner that they hunt, but they are fearless. They're technically parasites and come from the depths at night to feed. They're also called a cigar shark. Their teeth are bigger than any other shark relative to its body size. Well, hopefully I've totally creeped you out. So until next time, explore, learn, love the adventure.
Well, this is about to wrap up the show, I think. It was a really good opening for our season 2.
You have to be on cloud nine right now. I mean, you got
I
the
am.
Phillies going on, you've got the Eagles going on. I mean,
Yeah,
come
I
on.
do feel like I have like a lucky rainbow over my head right now. I
See
just
how
need
long
to
it
win the
lasts.
Powerball. If I win the Powerball, then that's we'll still do
Um,
this show. Don't worry, I'm not going anywhere.
oh, I don't care about that. You're actually sending something over my way, right? Like I have a house in my future if you win that, right?
Oh, I'm not saying a word. Then it's documented on video. But yeah, I'll get you a house, bud, if I win $1 billion. You got it.
Yeah.
Might be a little shack on the beach, but
Not
no,
a
I'm
problem.
just teasing.
Not a problem.
No, but it's super exciting. Listen, our Phillies could wrap it up. Or my Phillies, sorry, I said our Phillies. I think everybody's on the Philly bandwagon because most of my friends who are Yankees fans are now rooting for the Phillies because they don't like the Astros. And I think because of the cheating scandal too that was going on about that bat. I don't know if you heard about it.
Yeah.
But I just think it's so funny too that the Phillies, we have this song now that I'm not sure how exactly it happened. I want to say that it was Schwarber, um, but it's Dancing on My Own. Callum Scott's Dancing on My Own. We play that song now, and it doesn't really make sense to me, but it is catchy. And I see the guys are like dancing around to it.
I guess if it's working,
Yeah.
you know.
Listen, we're scrappy. We weren't expected to get this far. We were the wild card team, but we're just really accelerating at the right time. So hopefully we can win the World Series. It would be unbelievable.
Hey, listen, been rooting for you.
Thank you.
I guess, my guys are gone. It doesn't matter.
Listen, I
know?
told you I'm a Yankees fan too. If the Yankees, I would have loved for the Yankees to be in it too, but
I know, I know.
unfortunately,
You flip flopped. It was okay. It was
it was
based on which one
flip
was going to
flop.
make it.
No, never.
You
I
were
already
ready to
said
jump on which one was
no
going
way.
to
Uh-uh.
get.
I said right away, if the Phillies played the Yankees, if they both made it together, which I really wanted it to happen, I
That
was
would have been
still
amazing.
going with but I was still going to go with my Phillies because that
Of
is
course you
my
were.
first and foremost. But the Yankees, that's been my American League team since I was a little girl with my grandfather. So, and his name was Severino, who's a pitcher for the Yankees.
Right?
But wait, did you see the one game? I don't know if you watched game one real quick before we wrap, but it was Robertson was pitching. Did you see that game or no?
No, I
So
didn't.
Robertson, former Yankee, who in 2009, when the Yankees did beat the Phillies, um, and I think it was in 6 games, Robertson pitched, and but now he's on the Phillies, and he helped the Phillies win Game One against the Astros, and that was huge to take a game,
Yeah.
in Houston. So. Well, we'll see what happened. Hopefully, none of the cheating bats are involved, or But speaking of bats, well, happy Halloween. Hope everybody had a. We don't. Halloween's not done until we say it is, right? Is that what you said
Right.
earlier?
Yes.
That's your doctrine.
Yes.
But yeah, all right. Season 2, Silver
I'm
Phoenix Happy Hour.
I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, we're gonna have some great guests too. It's gonna be really exciting.
It was fun hanging out with you tonight.
You too. Bye,
And one last
everybody.
thing, ready?
Yeah.
Happy Halloween!
Happy Halloween, babe. Bye.
Bye.